Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where today you join me at Goodwood Festival of Speed at one of what used to be my favourite spots of the show, and it is the Goodwood hill climb turnaround. And this could be quite a sad video because it could be what is the start of the end. Normally there is easily 100 to 200 people standing along these hay bales filming all the new cars coming out here, and this year I'm literally the only one. It could be the heat, it could be that it's early still, but it also could be because of them cones. Now last year, like I said, there was a Lamborghini, it done a little bit of a donut, and a marshal come running over, shouting at him, having a go at him, telling him off. Because there was a little sign that he didn't see that had only just been introduced. I think it might have been introduced on the Saturday, because on the Thursday and the Friday when I was here, cars were still doing donuts. So for whatever reason that is, I don't know. I can't see any logic behind it. I can't see it being a noise complaint issue, because we're literally in the middle of nowhere. We're on the Goodwood estate, which all the land around it is owned by the Duke of Richmond. It's all his land, so anyone living in this area, I'd say within a good 3 or 4 miles, knows this. So it can't be a classic case of moving next to an airport and then moaning about the noise, or moving next to a racetrack and moaning about noise. It's got to be something within the Festival of Speed itself. Something's happened maybe. But yeah, it is a proper shame. So I'm going to stand here for a little while, see how the cars react when they come down. Maybe we get a little bit of a burnout with a little turnaround and a little bit of a burnout back up to the start line. But if they've got a no donut sign, I can imagine they're not even going to do that. So we'll see how it goes. This is what the Goodwood turnaround used to look like. Hopefully they still put on a bit of a show. Maybe they remove the cones later on in the day. Maybe they'd use it as like a tester day, and then take the cones away tomorrow, because some drivers do accidentally. But it's going to be a proper buzzkill if these cones stay here, and this could be the downfall of the Goodwood turnaround. Well, that first batch, or maybe half a batch, because that doesn't look anywhere near like the normal number of cars you get down here, was boring as hell. Usual McLarens, which was about as exciting as it got. And yeah, if that's all we're going to get all day, I ain't standing here for 2 days, for hours in this sunshine watching this. I actually want to go and see some of the show. So I'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'm done. I'm done with the turnaround, which is a shame because it was one of my favourite parts. I'll see if I can grab a marshal and see if we can get some sort of explanation as to why. Why is the no donut sign and the cones out? That was never here before.
My first year marshalling here, I think it's just they don't want to do donuts.
Oh, that's boring though, isn't it?
Whether they will listen.
Well, I know they can't because the cones are in the way, but yeah. Is it like just a health and safety?
Some cars are here, we might have to move the cones because they literally can't turn around.
Yeah, I know the front and the drift cars are that. Is it literally just health and safety? Like
I think so. There's like designated places where they can do the donuts up the track.
Yeah, I know the drift cars do. Yeah, but I know some of the cars they do it here, don't they, for like heating the tyres and that.
Yeah, but I don't know why exactly they're not being allowed to. Just they're not supposed to.
Yeah, because I know on the Thursday, Friday last year it wasn't here, and then on the Saturday it just appeared, and people were getting told off for doing donuts.
We'll see if they listen.
Hopefully not. Yeah. Alright, cheers. Is that a permanent thing now then? It's just always...
I'm guessing so, yeah. Like I said, I've been here as a spectator. It's my first time marshalling, so...
Right.
I'm probably as disappointed as you.
Yeah, shame, because it was a good bit. Yeah. Right, cheers. Well, there you go. That is straight from a marshal himself. Yeah, it seems like it's a permanent thing from now on. They'll add and remove it as and when, depending on the batches of the donuts, for like drift cars and Formula 1 cars that have got a really wide turning circle. But that seems like it's it, and possibly the end of the fun of the turnaround, which is going to kill this part of the show, which is a shame. So I might miss the odd donut here and there, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to wait around all day. So there might be the odd little ASBO. So it's the Friday. After yesterday's disappointment, I thought I'd come back down here today, because first batch today is the drift cars, and if any cars are going to be doing donuts or allowed to do donuts, it'd be them. So hopefully there might be some hope, but the cones are still out and the donut sign is still up, so yeah, we'll see. There are some skid marks around on the turnaround, so hopefully there is a glimmer of hope. Please move the cones. He's not going to move the cones. Right, so we've got the proper drift cars now, so let's see if they actually move the cones out of the way or not. Just in the shade, you can see the marshal talking to him. Hopefully he's going, yeah, do what you want, mate, you need to do it. Or, no, sorry, we're being environmentally friendly now, no donuts. Bagsy in the R35 always puts on a show. James Dean behind it is in RTR Mustang. Oh, he's shaking his head. He's shaking his head at him like no. that's it. That's as best as you're going to get. And look, now Marshall's coming over, he's probably going to moan. Got his head in the window. Right, so there you have it. I'd say turnaround is officially dead. That was the best you'll get out of the drifters. If anyone's going to drift, it's the drifters, and they weren't, as you see, allowed to do it. That guy, he wasn't a marshal, he was clearly some sort of suit corporate bloke who's higher up and works for the Duke, and he stood there, moved the cone out, shook his head and said, no, you're not doing it. So yeah, poo-pooed. Yeah, bit of a disappointment really. I thought, oh, you know what, Friday, I'll give it a second chance. Maybe drivers have got a bit more confidence, they might be allowed. That's it, turnaround is pretty much dead now. It's, you see the corporate guy come out in his suit, he wasn't a marshal, clearly higher up management, and he stood there and he moved a cone out because one drifter went around him, so he thought, I'll move another cone out, make it tighter for you. And he stood there and he shook his head and he said, no, you're not doing it. So weirdly, the Airbnb I was staying at, the host, the guy who owns the home, he is a marshal here at Goodwood. He's been doing it for years, and he thinks it's to do with the Duke and his environmentally friendly grants or something like that. Maybe the local council said you need to cut back on your tyre smoke or something like that. Something to do with being green.
As the formation roll to the left.
So right now briefing. Helicopters.
Under pressure though from Alex Brundle.
And he loves all that stuff, but why would you host a motorsport event burning millions of litres of fuel over the course of a weekend, but then cutting back on it for the sake of being green? You're going against your own morals, I guess. But yeah, real shame. Anyway, I hope you didn't like this video, because I didn't either. But give us a like and subscribe. Let us know what you think of the turnaround now compared to the past couple of years. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.